All right then, it is time to dance in the Ultimate Pool Pro Series final. Two fantastic players are competing for this wonderful trophy. Already two brilliant champions this season. We're about to find out Event 3's winner. Great to see this player back to his best this weekend. He's played absolutely fantastic. Please welcome the Ultimate Pool #1 player. He is Tom Top Cat Cousins. And please welcome for his first Ultimate Pool final in his first season as a pro, John Boy, John Chambers. Very best of luck to both players. Your referee is Richard Rhodes. Please give it up for both players and the Ultimate Pool Pro Series Event 3 final.
Well, there we go. We're hyped up here in the commentary box. We have reached the final, our first major final on the pro scene of this weekend series, and it is John Chambers that has made it all the way through in his first final, but a very much a familiar face is his opponent. He has got the #1 player, the most decorated player in Ultimate Pool, Tom Cousins, for company, and I'm delighted to say that I got my old mate Tony Holgate for company here. Tony, we're in for a treat here.
We are indeed. As we watched the lag, Cousins in sublime form in the semi-final. Had a couple of moments earlier in the tournament where he missed a couple of balls here and there, but my word, didn't he show up in the semi-final. And John Chambers has been absolutely brilliant. Beat Andrew Patchett in his semi-final. And I'd just say it's nice to be with such a TikTok sensation here in this.
You're welcome.
In this final.
Yeah,
I feel honoured.
It's my pleasure, Tony. Absolutely my pleasure. Oh, we're having some fun and games in the commentary box, but the real business is about to get underway here. And yeah, Top Cat was absolutely at his brilliant best in the semi-final. It was a performance of the absolute best from him. It really was. I mean, Carl Sutton will feel like he didn't actually play in the semi-finals. That's the level that Tom played at. He made difficult finishes look easy. He punished everything. I mean, Carl barely made a mistake, just a couple of, maybe a tactical error and a missed opportunity here or there, but pretty much it was just a Tom Cousins show. It was amazing to see. If he plays that level here, John Chambers is going to have to play out of his boots and take all his chances. But sometimes you don't always do it in back-to-back matches.
Well, I'll tell you what, that cue ball was heading towards that top right-hand corner there. And the ball came up and stopped it. He's got the goalkeepers in early. But yeah, I remember watching Tom played a last red. Running side off 3 cushions to get on the black, and that was about the second or third frame.
I think it was really early. It might have been the first frame. It was really...
As soon as I saw that shot,
you knew he was on.
He's here.
Yeah.
He's turned up.
Yeah, he was making difficult shots look easy. There was a touch shot towards the end that was just a dreamland shot that nobody will even notice, but it was the control on it was fabulous. And it was this level of finish that he was just making it look like they were drop-ins. And, you know, it's so easy to look at this and go, well, it's not too bad. They are tricky. They're not laid out brilliantly here, but he was making it look easy. Let's see if he starts the final in the same way that he played in the semi-final. Also worth pointing out, Tony, that he came into this weekend just under a small cloud of was his great run coming to an end. He was on the verge of losing his #1 status. That one's not quite gone to plan. But he has certainly answered those. You know, even if he doesn't get the job done here, he has certainly answered, you know, the people that were saying, you know, is that run coming to an end? Because great run through to the final.
Yeah, didn't want to land just beneath that black ball there. Awkward cueing. We get a great view of this shot. Well, he's fallen a tad short. Another roll of the cue ball, and he was perfect, but looks a bit thin to try and cut in.
He can get through to the one top of the table, but he's not where he wants to be.
Well, he's going for the thin cut.
Tried to use the pocket, use it all, and that's not worked. So he's made more mistakes here in the final than he made in the whole of the semi-final in the opening frame. An opportunity for John to really set the tone here. Big visit to the table for me, very early.
There is a big pocket in his bottom right. So it's the two reds above the black that are going to be the problem for John. There you see the Chambers fan club in the background. Rob, his brother, also Kyle Cope, very good friend. Another one of our Ultimate Pool pros. And he didn't want that. I don't think that could have come out any worse. And there is Rob Chambers, John's brother.
Al Cope as well. They played each other earlier today in event 2 of the weekend, event 4 of the season.
And who got the better of that one?
It was Rob got the victory.
Wow. Because Rob's been Kyle Cope's mentor
he has. It was
for quite a while.
Really tough match for Rob. He played brilliantly. Well, opens up one red, ties up another.
I think was it a case of where Rob Chambers has said to Kyle, I taught you everything you know, but not everything that I know.
Yeah, possibly. Always tough when that sort of thing happens.
Absolutely,
but, Looks like he's going then. He could have played safe, but decided to go. That's unlucky. To sit on that yellow, like to hit the yellow on that side. Going into from that angle, it's so unlikely to hit the sort of top side of it. You're thinking he's guaranteed, you feel. That's a little bit unfortunate.
And he's touching ball.
Touching ball's interesting. That's the plan. He's going to play the 8 ball. Deemed to have played his red. Looked like he was trying to get the 8 ball in front of the yellow, so he wasn't trying to leave the yellow open at the bottom, but he was trying to block it off. So if you're touching your red, you can play any other balls. It looks strange, that one, but it's perfectly legal.
This is thin, but he can cut it. If he can play this with bags to left-hand side, he's not attempting it. He's playing a safety.
Yeah, because he can hide behind the 8 ball as well, and that's a loose one from Tom. That was a very difficult shot, but not quite the strike he was looking for. Missed that by quite a distance in the end. And we're in for a very touchy opening frame here, Tony.
Yeah, it's incredible how it's panned out.
Coming in on 6 minutes. Both players have had chances.
I think Tom now try thin edge off this yellow, off 2 to 3 cushions. Try get the cue ball right at the bottom of the table behind yellow and black. A tad soft. But that's where he intended to go with the cue ball. Got to be a bit careful this time. I'm pretty sure John Chambers' red that's just next to the black goes in that bottom right-hand corner. Well, that was fairly rifled in, wasn't it?
That was aggressive. It's not quite worked for him. A little bit short of pace, or the line was not what he was wanted, but great double. But he's in worse position for it. He could. I mean, there is a chance the safety shot here works out well for him.
Goes in the middle with the yellow. That's what he's going to attempt.
Got to hit a cushion, though. That's the key here. Got to hit a cushion. He wanted that fuller. He wanted to stick behind the 8 ball.
Big shot now for John Chambers. Bit too pacey there for John. And the white falls in, so this is going to be in the tap-in black for Tom Cousins to win the opening frame after, well, a pretty scrappy exchange.
Yeah, who had money on a drawn-out, 8-minute opening frame here? Major surprise to me. Wry smile from Tom, because he didn't see that on the cards either, but even frames like that are worth the same. I mean, if Tom loses that frame, Tony, I think he just, whether he wins or loses, he laughs it off and he moves on. Next opportunity, he probably runs him out and he's back where he was. But for John to have that many chances and not put it away, do you think that's a damaging opening frame for him?
I wouldn't say a damaging opening frame for John, because I've known John a long, long time, and he's got a very happy-go-lucky sort of attitude, and nothing really gets on his nerves. I said before, when he first came over to Ultimate Pool early this year, he said, I'm just so happy to be here. Just going to enjoy every moment I play. If I win or lose, it doesn't matter.
No, that's not going to help.
No, it's not.
I do think there'll be people thinking that the way that frame was kind of ended, laughter in the arena, and everyone's smiling around it, might just relax him a little bit. Unfortunately, we're not going to find out if that was going to happen here, because he's going to have to sit and watch Tom Cousins again, and Tom can do some pain here.
I'm attacking that cluster very early. He'd have liked to come in just a bit heavier, but I think he can get that yellow through.
Yeah, the plant's on. It's just standard MO for Tom, especially with ball in hand. Attack his bad ball. He does it earlier than anybody else in the game.
He can also play this plant now. He screws the cue ball into the yellow that's just beneath, kicks it towards the bag. Pushing first here. No. Just needs to guide the cue ball past the black in the middle of the table. And he has done. And this is looking very much like 2-0 to Top Cat.
He's still got half a shot to play here, Tony. He looks perfect, but it can go wrong. That's why he's taking a few extra seconds. If he was a touch straighter here, he wouldn't have any worry. He's landed a touch straight here as well, and that was his worry.
He does have room. He can play a very deep screw shot into that yellow, come all the way down the table and back up again if he so wishes.
Yeah, even if he was to hit the 8 ball, he'd give himself a shot. That's a worst case scenario.
The thing with that, if you're playing that yellow at the top that's near the pocket, whatever happens, that cue ball is going to collide into the red that's just next to it.
Oh, wow. Didn't see the missed pot coming, though.
No, I didn't.
And, well, it's a very edgy start from Tom Cousins. It looked like the work was done in one shot. Unfortunately for Tom, he didn't find the the touch thereafter. So an opportunity here in frame 2 for John to try and get into this match. Already feel like the match clock's going to play a big factor, and we're only, well, a frame and a half in.
Yeah, it's an amazing start. Expected it to be fast and furious, but it's been edgy. John playing the safety, rightly so. Tom's got to be careful here, because if he hits the middle of the front yellow there, we're going off. So he's trying to play cushion first before it. That could still go.
Any more pace than he was in off, but judges it well. Any benefit for you for laying the snooker? Because all you're going to do is give yourself ball in hand, whereas he can get himself into the ball in hand position to play the breakout shot. So,
me, I'd want to red up there somewhere just to use to maybe try and play off Tom's yellows and kick everything out.
I thought he should play for the middle of the table there and then top right and just fire into it.
He's going game.
That's what I mean. But potting these ones first, I don't see the benefit.
I thought he could have potted that one and then play this red up into those yellows. And
again, another option. Clearing these 3 up before you deal with the problem at the top is there's no advantage in this whatsoever. He could have got where he is now with the cluster at the bottom, which gives him, if the cannon comes out perfectly here, he'll win the frame off it. If it doesn't, he's then in a bit of a problem. Whereas he would have had balls to be able to deal with it. So slightly strange here from John, and it hasn't worked for him.
No, I totally agree, and he would have had a couple of balls down here to either hide behind.
He would have a great snookering option and reset himself in the frame. Now he's, well, second favourite. I mean, the loss of turns available, but where are you putting the white?
Well, you'd need to play a very good controlled shot and play the loss of turn and come off the two rails right down behind them and put the black in the way of the other yellow. Yeah,
because I don't think the red's going to cover the yellow to top left, so it's going to stick where it is, so the 8-ball has to do the work. And he's going to go in off as well. It's a disaster, really.
Yeah, that was a bit wild.
Yeah. I'm all for going game there. I don't see the benefit at the start of that visit of laying a snooker, because ball in hand wasn't going to give him much more than he could give himself anyway. But you've got to get there early.
I didn't mind him going game, but I thought he should have left one of those reds at the bottom of the table. He could have fired it up into those yellows.
Which is a good option, isn't it? Really could have opened everything up. Does mean this 8-ball here for Tom Cousins will mean he is 2-0 up in about 15 minutes. Without playing yet, without actually playing his game yet. It's been a poor start from both, but the happier player is always going to be the one that won the frames. Tom looks a little bit confused.
He does. Both players having a little chat. This will be Rob, I would have thought, brother, and it is.
A little bit of a debrief. Happens a lot more in pool than you'll see in other sports. A kind of debrief with people that are there with you. I can tell you that they're very, very tight, and Rob will be feeling every single shot that John plays out there. This will mean just as much to Rob as it would if he was out there himself, if not even more. You know, that is the relationship they have.
Oh, they're very close.
Yeah, 2 really, really good guys. And, yeah, they're incredibly close. Great additions to the Ultimate Pool Pro scene.
Absolutely.
They really are great ambassadors for the game. They've been international stalwarts for a long time and decided to now have a crack at the pro game. And it's brilliant to see. And, of course, John really making his way already in the Champions League semi-finals, in a final here. Yeah, it's a brilliant start to his pro career for John, whatever happens tonight and Monday. Oh, how was that yellow not dropped?
I don't know. I was expecting it to fall in.
Right, here we go then, John. Everything that's come before doesn't matter. This is a wide open layout as you're going to get in a major final. Time just to relax and play. What do you think, Tony? Leave the yellow bottom right as your connection to the 8-ball right centre, and everything else will kind of work your way up the table as quickly as you can, and then you got margin.
Definitely. So second to last yellow is the one near the left-hand side cushion at the bottom of the table. And then
yeah, I like it.
Then the one at the bottom, black in the middle. Get rid of this one at the top of the table next. If he can float down right in between those two yellow balls in the middle, he's perfect. That's fine.
I might take the one you're nearest to the bottom corner if you're straight enough to hold.
Tell you what, absolutely.
Yeah, John agrees.
Yep.
Little dinky one. There you go. You're definitely straight enough to hold. Just put himself in a really good area. Good things could happen there. And he's done it exactly as you called, Tony.
Just judging the screw shot here, pull back 3 or 4 inches. This will make John feel a whole lot better. This will settle him. Or unsettle him. Wow.
That's tough. That's really, really tough for John.
As he looks to the floor, he knows there. I mean, that's gutting for John Chambers.
Yeah. Hasn't turned up in this final. When you're playing Tom Cousins, you've got to be careful. This can get away. This is for 3-0, but it's been about John so far.
The thing with John, and like I say, I've known him for many, many years, he'll want to be out there and give a good account of himself. You know, get involved with the crowd as well, because he's a very, very good player, and he's such a likeable bloke as well. And he's jovial and
always got a smile on his face, always cracking a joke.
With the crowd, but you know, he looks absolutely desperate that he's just missed that black. And for John's sake, I hope that doesn't affect the rest of his play, because it can easily manifest itself in your brain.
Yeah, some mistakes are bigger than others, aren't they? Some errors will stay, and that's the sort of error on the back of what he's done in the match so far. That error is a big one.
And then others lead to another error.
Mm.
And it's not only that, it's you miss the black and you've left an absolute easy mop up for Tom. Not only that, Tom's confidence will just build a little bit with that as well, thinking, well, he's looking a bit edgy. I've not started great, but I'm going to be 3-0 up.
Yeah, exactly, isn't it? Two things happen. The player that's, got those three, he'll relax, and he's now just up and running, playing pool, hasn't played anywhere near his level yet. He's 3-0 up, and the other player is under more pressure because the pressures build, the mistakes build more mistakes. So
yeah,
John needs a reset. He was hoping, his supporters were hoping it was going to be that chance for the clearance. As we just dip across, and this is the Tier 1 final for the challengers. Young Charlie Earnshaw making it into the final. Great run for him. 2-1 up over Dean Richardson. This is over on our YouTube channel right now if you'd like to keep an eye on this one. Nick Finn is talking you through it.
Good player, young Charlie Earnshaw. First saw him at Daventry at the British Open. Came onto the live table, and I'm trying to think now. Did he beat Jordan Shepherd? He took a scalp, and
he took a scalp. It could have been Jordan. Yeah, Jordan. Could well have been.
Just trying to rack through the old memory banks there.
We probably commentated on it together, Tony.
I was definitely on it because I remember seeing that young man play so well and was fearless. And talking about fearless, John's going to have to be just that now. He needs some angry pool. That's what he needs.
I did commentate on a match earlier on this weekend. It was an early round match between Liam White and Sean Chipperfield, and absolutely not a major final, but the comparison I'm about to make is Liam White started in the same way that John Chambers is starting here. You know, the mistakes were jarring. They were very poor errors, and you just thought that's going to be really hard to come back from. And Sean, without doing too much, he played well, but without his absolute best, found himself a long way in front. And then at 7-3, all of a sudden, Liam just snapped into life and just took out 5 great frames and won the match. And that's the sort of inspiration that John looks for now. It is only 3-0. It is a race to 8, but just find a moment and just turn this around.
It's funny you should mention that, because I was coming back through the crowd and then to the arena at the tail end of that match, and I watched the last 3 finishes Liam White took out. And I said to somebody, I said, "Well, Liam's playing well." They actually turned around and said, "It looked like different players at the one that started the match."
It was like a different player had gone and turned up for the second half of the match, and we're not at the halfway point, of course not, but that's what John needs here. He would have liked to have been on the higher one there previously. He wasn't, so that means he's now very thin here. This is a tough shot.
It is indeed.
And it's not going to fall for him, so another one gets away for John.
Well, he's made those 2 yellows a bit messy at the bottom. I'm just wondering if there's no loss of turn that Tom could play. He could flick the yellow at the bottom where the 2 are very thin and try and get the cue ball jammed behind a 2.
He'd leave the 1 cushion on the left-hand side, wouldn't he?
He would.
I wonder whether it's worth playing it firmer and almost he's got quite a wide window to put the cue ball just to the right-hand side of the bottom left-hand corner pocket whilst opening up those 2 yellows. Got a big blocker, and that then becomes a difficult hit. Tom's got other ideas.
Loss of turn has got to come somewhere.
Tom's trying to make it happen. He can now. There's now a loss of turn available with control if he wants it. Go all out here, Tony, and play the combo, or would you just play the loss of turn?
For me, I'd play the loss of turn.
Yeah, I think. Oh, there's Kieran Hall, come over from Missouri, Kansas City-based player that's been playing in the Challenger Series. Now lives out in America. Played well in
Des Moines.
Iowa,
Yeah. Good player.
He did go all out.
Has he got lucky? He has got lucky. Oh. A bit of a smirk there from John Chambers as he came round the table. When you play those shots, those combos, if you sort of snap at them, the second ball doesn't go. It's got to be like
smooth, isn't it? Yeah, smooth stroking. Yeah, it wasn't man. You say the rice smile from John as he comes to the table, but this is probably from when the mistake he's made. This is probably as good a chance as he could have hoped for. This isn't beyond the realms of possibility. He makes this off 1 cushion.
I go the other way. Because I think if he hits the red into the yellow to the other side, I think it does go in the middle.
Slightly harder angle to find as you're closer to the cushion, but the benefit, as you say, probably makes it worthwhile.
More likely to pot it, in my opinion, if you hit it correctly, obviously. But
The way that Tom went about that previous visit tells me he wasn't too concerned about these 2 yellows at the bottom. I thought if they were open, I could understand what he was trying to do, but
I'd be concerned about them. Hello.
I get the sense, Tony, that we're concerned about things a lot more than Tom.
Yeah.
He's as laid back as it gets. Well, that used it all, which means he's shorter pace.
Which means he's playing into the gap here now. Flick off the yellow at the bottom, or the one that's nearest the bottom of cushion.
He might still go, though, because if he plays the pot, he flicks the other yellow quarter ball, pops it into play.
That pot's hard. I mean,
yeah, but this
he's
is Tom Cousins.
Yeah, but
I'm with you. I don't think he should have gone 2 visits
and
ago.
this is me that doesn't play any safety.
But I'm the most negative player in the world.
I think he's going to play safe, but he's going to push the cue ball over the other side, you know.
Oh, he played the double in the middle. Clever. No, you don't believe me.
No, because he walked round and pointed his cue at where he wanted to leave the cue ball. No, it's probably a shot to nothing. But
yeah. Well, that is officially into the second half of the match, and we are only in frame 4. 25 minutes gone. A slow burner, this one.
And that's a better shot from Cousins. Well, halfway through the match clock, Cousins is halfway to the finish line.
Without really doing too much, that's the problem for John. You know, we've talked about this all the way through the match. He's not pushing our number 1 player at all. Not putting any pressure on. And Tom can just relax and keep going. Still plenty going on in the Bolton Wanderers Football Club right now. Plenty of action. Team matches will be going on soon. We've still got some pro matches in event 4. Some women's pro matches still to play. They'll be playing up till and probably just beyond midnight tonight. Huge explosion. Not happening though.
Look how many balls are up that side of the table. Does baffle me from time to time how he doesn't get a ball off a break like that.
Not the easiest to layouts. So powerful, as you say. So many balls go into the top half of the table. It makes them congested, even though it was a great hit.
Oh, wow.
Well, he was walking. He thought it was in the minute he struck it.
Yeah.
You just feel with every mistake out there, it's just eating away at John, and you feel the hopes of that kick into gear, and suddenly start finding the form he showed to get here isn't going to come.
No, it seems to be draining him, especially if he gets punished to the hilt here by Cousins. He gets to 5.
Tom's a little bit short here.
He's either a bit short or a little bit too far. Yep. Wisely using his extension. So I don't think he's worked out what he's going to do yet.
Might have had a slightly awkward contact there. He wanted another turn on that cue ball, and it just seemed to die.
It's a very thin cut, and I think he's trusting to a bit of luck here as well, because I don't think Guide past those reds. It's going to cannon into them. Or is he? Oh,
that's a great shot.
He's
not out of the woods yet, but
that was top notch, because I didn't think he could get past that red. The way he almost slow swerved it in, if you know what I mean. It's such a good shot. Tricky again to get the cue ball back. Didn't need to. I mean, for such a tricky finish like that, he's made that look ridiculously easy. I mean, that was horrible. Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant there from Tom Cousins.
Yeah, that was the best moment in the match. Just saw the background there, Rob just acknowledging that as well. Rob Chambers, John's brother, just shows you the class between the players. Talked about John and Rob a fair bit, and acknowledging the quality there from Tom Cousins. A lot of talk coming into this weekend about Tom and his potential to lose the #1 ranking. Declan Brennan had got himself 2,250 points behind, 6,000 points for a win, and 3,000 points for a runner-up. So you kind of got himself within touching distance. And remember, Declan Brennan's in the Champions League final or semi-final on Monday night. So power to add. But Tom Cousins is on the verge here of just putting all that to bed and stretching away Declan Brennan. Early round loser, first round loser here in event 3. If Tom goes on to win, it'll be huge daylight again. One thing I will say is that the talk of Tom and his mini blip may be a bit premature. We may be into mid-May. He won the final event of 2024. This is only event 6 for 2025. And bearing in mind, he did win in Iowa in the middle of this, so he is very much still in form. Good break. Reds are on. No yellows visible, but reds look good anyway. Normal circumstances, you'd really fancy John to take out these reds. Clever with a transitional shot. coming down the table. Make sure the yellows in the middle don't play big, and that's why he's come up past the straight. Gives him all the room to play in. All the right-hand side of the table is where all the space is.
Desperately needs this frame.
Very good. Very good. And he celebrates it as well. Good moment that for John. Smile on his face. He's got a frame on the board. And whilst he makes light of the situation, that could be a moment we look back on at the end of this match where things turn around. It is not all over here. That is just John up and running now. That was much, much better for him. Just dip into the Women's Pro Series. This is in event 4. Marion Dew taking on Aid Flitcroft-Hurst.
Yeah. Quite a character, Aid.
Unfortunately,
From Stoke-on-Trent.
she'll be very disappointed with that. 5-0 down to Marion. Disappointing. Still, she can fight back, but giving 2 times world champion and multiple-time Women's Pro Series champion a 5-0 lead, it's going to be tough. Slightly surprising performance yesterday from Marion, losing out to Geraldine Champagny. They played each other again today, and it was a completely different result. Marion got the 7-0 victory.
Yeah, it was unbelievable yesterday.
And last night she lost in a late-night battle with her countrywoman, 7-6. Tom hits a big break here and looks to respond to John winning his opening frame of the match. Looks a good layout here, Tony, but there's probably only, let's be honest, it's only Tom Cousins in the game that we can say hasn't won a title for 5 tournaments, and we're talking about a crisis.
Yeah, exactly.
He won. We're talking specifically about Ultimate Pool on the pro scene. His last title was the Pro Cup at the end of last year. He didn't win the first 5 tournaments this year. Hardly a crisis.
No, indeed. It's like the Real Madrid of pool.
Yeah.
He's just having a look now to see if he can sneak through this gap. And I think he can. He thinks he can. A little bit of right-hand side here, just to favour the angle a bit more. I mean, that's like a laser to get a cue ball through that gap as well. Such a genius at finding angles and ways to go out. When he had his sort of dodgy start to the season as well, for me it was down to dry breaks. He was not getting balls. It's not down to missing pots, but then he had this yesterday. He was playing very well, but then he was missing some strange pots for Tom. But then when he arrived in that semi-final against Carl Sutton, it was just, wow.
It was lights out, wasn't it?
It was.
I was expecting more of the same here. Because he's been there and done it so often, you kind of think once you found that top gear, you know, one more match, you just keep it turning over. But that first frame in this match was so strange.
It was untidy. Simple as that. This man is never untidy.
He wasn't punished for it. I think that's the big key here. Well,
it's going 6-1 Tom going to be 2 away.
As soon as John Chambers gets his first frame on the board, Tom Cousins just responds. 2 brilliant break clearances on the bounce there for Tom Cousins, and sandwich with John one of his own. Good sight, isn't it? I'm not going to get bored of seeing this.
No.
I mean, I actually don't think it does it justice. The venue is fantastic. There's 87 tables in action, 89 in the building, if you include the couple we have in the bar as well. I'm sure you know them well, Tony. And
no, I've never seen them.
Mini tournaments running out all weekend long up in the sports bar on the 3rd floor. We've got a mezzanine floor. This is where the camera is overlooking. There's 34 tables up there. Lots of different sections. The ability for players to play in as many events as they possibly can. Tournament director's nightmare, but a pool player's dream.
Yeah, I don't want their jobs.
John's still smiling, having a bit of fun with our referee. Oh dear. Yeah, that's what he thinks of that. It's a good break, but the last roll is a poor one. He's just about to walk away and change cues, and he realises he's not going to have anything to do.
And you see the thumb come out there as well.
Well, he actually had a shot on. Very delicate little drop in. That feather off the red may have just blocked off the 8 ball. In fact, I'm sure it's blocked off the 8 ball, but if you can get that far, the double's available.
I think if you said to him at the start of this rack, we'll put you straight on a double into the middle with the black ball, he'd have bit your hand off for it.
Well, definitely when he has his thumbs up to acknowledge a poor lay after the break.
John the Thumb Chambers.
Needs to get up higher.
Oh, he's not gone. Has he gone enough? No.
Maybe use the
red.
Yeah, just you don't want to get that down the table that far. Oh, it's blocked off the 8 ball.
Oh dear.
That's not good.
That is now savage.
Yeah. Wonder, can you drop this in, hold on the red, and then play the kick double?
I think that's your best shot.
Well, in the end,
I think
like he played that.
I think he has played it.
Going to be a loss of turn attempted here for Tom.
Oh, hello. But
if it's touching ball, John's got a problem. If it's not touching, he can clip this in, but you've still got the same issue with the 8 ball. So it isn't touching, so he can clip this in, but he's going to have to come up with a shot on this 8 ball.
right then. What if you can play the 8 ball into the rail and come back off that red that's nearest to it and flick it into the middle?
He tried to double kiss it off the... That was as played. He was very, very close.
Yeah.
That was creative.
These reds look absolute drops for Tom Cousins. And this will put him on the hill. That's not the greatest shot he's ever played. I know he's in no particular danger, but when he had the whole area of the table to play in, I thought he'd left himself quite straight on this. Here I am criticising Tom Cousins for not being absolutely perfect on every shot.
He was out of line by a ball, Tony. I mean,
not having it.
Missed to get on the hill as we get very close to the 10-minute mark and 15 seconds a shot. One away from another title for Tom Cousins. Just get the sense it's not really been the final that we're all hoping for here, and everyone in the arena kind of knows what's coming. John probably knows what's coming. He'll keep trying, of course, but it's going to be a tall order with 10 minutes to play to turn this one around, and that's even if he was given the opportunities. But Tom's now in the mood. He's now playing like Tom Cousins, and this one could be over quickly.
Yeah, he'll want to get it done now, quick as possible. Of course, he's got the small matter of another pro event yet to start.
Yeah.
I think he'll probably have to play a match tonight, won't he?
No, he was already in the last 32. Yeah, he'll be back tomorrow.
That's handy. He'll want to get this done quick as possible to get to bed.
It would be very Tom Cousin-esque to kind of come here under a little bit of a cloud of, well, you're going to lose your number one title, win back-to-back titles. You won't see me again for 6 months.
No.
I'm out of sight again.
And that is always a danger.
Yeah.
Oof, it's absolutely cane, that break. Where's the cue ball? Oh.
Not sure if we'll see this cue ball at the end.
No.
But it made a little funny detour, didn't it? I don't know if it flicked the jaw or what happened. Have a look here. Only for Tom Cousins. He has that power.
Yeah. The force field.
There is the mark. So 15 seconds a shot after this shot.
My.
You can't believe it. Get the sense that John's just said something funny and people that could hear that making a bit of a smile. Get a sense John just wants it over now, don't you? I mean,
I think
he's
so,
trying,
yeah.
but it's just he hasn't turned up in this final, and it's sad to see because he's such a nice character and such a good player. But you know, when he has time to kind of reflect on this performance, and obviously he knows he's got a big semi-final coming up on Monday as well, but in the Champions League. But this is a brilliant run through to the final that he should take an awful lot of confidence from. You know, there's a lot to be said. It's not easy to make Pro Series finals.
I think the quarters and the semis, it took a lot out of John just to get to the final. And sometimes players get to a final and think that I've done the job, you know, I've got to the final, and then sort of half forget, well, it's another match here to win the title. But I do think maybe a tad of fatigue, because he won't be as used to it as Tom Cousins, just playing multiple matches.
And also, Tom, he's breezed through a few matches. You know, he's had plenty of downtime around it as well. You know, his semi-final wasn't a too taxing. He just played great. Oh, you can't put it away though.
No,
another one. That cannon. I thought it was okay because it would go top left corner. It didn't. They had to. A delicate one in the middle, so he's struggling to get over the line here is Tom Cousins, but the clock is running down and the time is running out here for John Chambers. Well, he gets another one back. Tried to do it as quickly as he could. Under 7 minutes to play.
He's just having a look at the clock now, that's trying to work out, can I do that? Can I really get another 5?
It's unlikely.
It is, because at some point Cousins is going to be at the table and he can run it down. I don't think he'd even bother. Tom's smiling and enjoying life over there. John having a chat with brother and Kyle.
Trying to be positive. Trying to tell himself it's still on. 5 frames would get us to a 6-thread shootout in 6 minutes 48 seconds. 6 frames to win it.
Yeah, needs a break dish here, there's no question.
And a quick one.
Yep.
And he's got the opportunity. It's a good one. It's a very good one.
He wants to get his skates on.
Slightly awkward being on the cushion there.
Yep. You can just roll this in and sit in the gap where the 2 yellows are together and play the long yellow into the top left-hand corner. Just come far enough, he might have to play the plant. Cut in the middle. Awkward queuing now for John. That's not a happy landing spot. Then cut now into the middle, but the cue was going to be going into all sorts of balls.
How's it not anything?
I don't know.
How has that happened? He's landed lovely.
Yeah.
That's what he had in mind.
Well, it's black for 7-3. 2 in a row. And in it goes, and John Chambers is fighting.
Has a bit of fun with Tom as he walks back as well. no golden breaks in play is such a big thing, Tony, isn't it? It's like you always feel like that hope's there. You know, you stick in a break clearance, you know, you get or reverse clearance, get a golden break. All of a sudden, 2 frames in 2 minutes, and it changes the complexion. But it has to be finishes now, and you know, he took out that finish, you know, relatively quickly, but for the requirement of what's needed, too slow. And that's not a criticism. He took him out really well. It's just the time remaining is going to be very difficult.
And they ate a big chunk of it early doors in that opening frame.
He's essentially got 4 minutes and change for 4 frames. So a minute and change each, rather, for 4 frames. Well, he's got another chance. He's got to get quicker, though. The reds are all there. I mean, one awkward one. It's not even that awkward, is it? Tricky opening plant, it looks like, and that's it. This can be a quick one. Yeah, 4:52 when this frame started. So can he get it done inside a minute?
Needs to start potting 2 in one shot and save
I was thinking that. He's snookered himself here, though. That could be the end.
Or has he?
No, I think he's snookered. He's quite a long. I mean, I'm sure, was he playing? He must have been playing the other side of the 8 ball, unless the 8 ball goes left centre.
Cousins, I think, is just going to eat the clock a bit here. Use his extension.
There you go. Extra 15. Just eats away at the clock. We're down to 3 minutes 15.
Yeah, that's going to be that, really. But Tom Cousins, can we say, answered his critics, if there were any.
Yeah, and some. I'll see if he can finish it off in style. 2:27 left. Run these out, get to 8.
Yeah, not been vintage Tom. Semi-final, he was superb. This has been a little more, well, a little bit watered down Tom, but it's still going to do the damage. Three yellows and the black to land the title. Gone a bit far. Might have to go upstairs, and he has to go upstairs.
Two away from the title then for Top Cat.
Slides this yellow in, cue ball up the table for the black in the centre. And Cousins is back.
He's done it again. Top Cat wins another title. He came here with people saying it was a crisis. 5 tournaments without a victory can only be a crisis in the Tom Cousins world. almost on the brink of losing his number one title. That has been put to bed. He stretches his lead at the top of the rankings, and he also will hold aloft another trophy with Ultimate Pool. Not the masterclass of a final we're expecting, but finals are for winning, and Tom Cousins has won that comfortably.
Yeah, he was absolutely fantastic in that semi-final against Carl Sutton. Tonight, well, I won't say jaded, but he did the job at hand, and, you know, ultimate professional. He is the number one. He's still the benchmark of Ultimate Pool.
Benchmark's the word, isn't it? He is still the benchmark that every other player in the game needs to kind of match themselves up against. He is incredible, and he just churns out titles, and he's done it without breaking a sweat here.
Yeah, no. Credit to Tom Cousins. His only win this season had been in America, but now he's back on home soil.
He wins his sixth. If it wins the final title of last year, 6 titles in this year, he is the champion. It is time to crown him. Down to the arena with Stephen Jameson.
Welcome back into the arena, everybody. It is presentation time in the Ultimate Pool Pro Series. An absolutely fantastic tournament from this man who ran to his very first Ultimate Pool final, and plenty more to come, not just this weekend, but on Monday night as well. Let's give it up for John Boy, John Chambers. How'd you find that?
I enjoyed it, but it was pretty rubbish, to be honest. I don't think either of us played pretty well. Tom was just better than me and deserved the win. Simple as that.
A brilliant run for you, Mines. I mean, you came into this year wanting to get back in where you felt like you once belonged. Into a final at the top end of a tournament like this is where you belong, and you've done it quite quickly. With that in mind, how pleased with the run this weekend and what you managed to achieve?
Really pleased. I feel I've over-exceeded my expectations. My expectations were always low to begin with, but yeah, I did well. I played some good matches throughout, but that was my worst performance of the lot, so that's a bit disappointing. I couldn't push Tom more, but yeah, I'm really happy with making a final.
Get that pool room built. Well played, mate. John Chambers, everybody. As for our champion, there's not many more words left to say than the Ultimate Pool number one, Tom Cousins. Well played, Tom. Another title, your first of 2025. How pleased to get back on top of the mountain?
Yeah, over the moon to get the win. It would have been nice to put on a better performance from us both, but yeah, I got the win, and that's the main thing. Yeah,
absolutely. You know more than just about anybody here about the pressure of finals and how difficult it is to play your best stuff. What did you make of what sort of transpired out there?
Yeah, I don't know. I think John missed one first, and then I followed it up with a never miss, and he followed up with a never miss, and I thought I'd carry it on, so that was about it. But no, fair play to John. Good run, great run, getting to the final, and yeah, hopefully he goes well this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And for yourself, we were here very first match on Friday afternoon, and I asked you about the start to the year and those ranking points under pressure, and you said it mattered to you to do well, to win events, and to stay the number one. And well, you will do that this weekend.
I'll do it this weekend, yeah, but yeah, we'll see how long it lasts.
Very magnanimous, mate. We're going to bring in Ultimate Pool Director Zach Leonard to present you with another trophy, Tom. Enjoy the moment. Your Ultimate Pool Pro Series 3 champion is Top Cat, Tom Cousins.